Um, Hi, my name is Rich, and I'm recovering from a reverse shoulder replacement operation. Let me give you a little bit of background on this. On January 6th, 2020, I was in town and I tripped over the edge of a low-hanging, um, I guess you'd call it a bench, that was wrapped around our city hall. And I fell down and hurt my shoulder. I knew immediately that I was in trouble. I talked to my doctor, and he sent me out to get an X-ray that day, and which I had done, and sent me to physical therapy. The X-ray came back, didn't show any damage, didn't show any breaks or anything like that. Started physical therapy within that week, and my physical therapist at that point said, "I think you need to go see a surgeon." So it was in a facility that happened not only had the rehab there, but it also had the doctor there too. So I went to see the doctor. He sent me out for a MRI. When the MRI came back, he said that you got a massive tear. You got three tendons that are completely teared and one that's a partial. So he scheduled me for an operation on March 30th, and he repaired the three, put arthroscopically in my right shoulder. This is my right shoulder. And after going back to physical therapy, everything will appear to be normal. Then about 4 or 5 months into the physical therapy, I kept saying there's something wrong. This doesn't. I should be a lot further along with that. And as it turns out, the highest I could raise that arm, if I was looking at my right arm, was probably about this high. Had no pain at all. Just couldn't get it up above my chest. So I went back. The doctor said that he did another MRI, and it turns out that two of the tears did not heal. So he said he would not reoperate on it because of the massive tear it was. So he referred me to a joint repair or replacement specialist, right, shoulder replacement specialist, who took the MRI, looked at it, and said that you need a reverse shoulder replacement. And I also complained about my other arm. I had an MRI done on my left arm at the same time as I had this one done. So he had both. The new surgeon had both MRIs, and he said you need on that one also. You only got one tear, but because of your age, I'm 71 years old, you should have a reverse shoulder replacement on that one also. He says typically, he says I wouldn't recommend anybody just get arthroscopic surgery at your age for that kind of a complete tear, because you're just not going to heal like you should. So I kind of feel good about that part. So anyhow, we scheduled a surgery for the shoulder, my right shoulder. He gave me a choice basically if you do the left or the right. And what it came down to was a quality of life issue. You know, this one here is starting to hurt. This hurts doing this kind of movement. Where the other one going this far did not hurt at all. Even going trying to I could throw my arm all the way up. It wouldn't hurt. Nothing. I had no pain at all on that shoulder. If this situation was in my left arm, my left shoulder, I would have left it alone, and just lived with what I had. You know, maybe do, something on this arm. But because I had this other problem, I had to do something about it. So I said I want to do this my right shoulder first. I got to have at least one arm that works. And right now, my only arm I have is my left arm, which is really, 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 really uncoordinated. I have just brushing my teeth, washing, any eating. It's like I might as well have 5 thumbs. That's how bad it is. So so he sent me. So anyhow, I scheduled it for the 8th of March, which was last Tuesday before last. So I'm out 8 days from my post-op. Now the first day they kept me overnight. Just to give you an example of what happened when I walked into the hospital, I was there, had to be there at 5:30 in the morning. I was actually in the prep room probably by 6 o'clock. I was in the operating room by 7:30, and I was out of there by I guess around 10 o'clock, something like that. I think my wife said that it was around 10:30 when the doctor came out to talk to her. I woke up probably around, I'd say maybe 12, something like that. They decided to keep me overnight. They pumped me up with antibiotics. They had an IV drip going with for the whole time I was in there. The first pain meds I received was a shot into the IV bag of morphine. I guess that night they gave me two 10 milligrams of oxycodone, two 5 milligram tablets, and they said if you want more you have to ask for it. So I think I asked for one. I believe it was just before I went to bed. I asked for two because I with the first shoulder operation I had, I knew I had to stay ahead of the pain, and once the block came off, I knew I was going to experience it. So I wanted to stay ahead of it. So I started out like that with two oxy 10 milligrams. They sent me home around 12:30. Got home and I was already in the sling. They put that in while I was out, so then I guess had dinner and all that kind of normal stuff, and went about my business. The first day I took, I think it was we're talking about now Thursday, I took 2 oxys in the morning. I took 1 oxy 4 hours later. The way the script was written was 2 oxys every 4 hours. They gave me 60 pills. And in fact, when the hospital pharmacist came in, he told me that if you want Narcan to go home with it, we can give you Narcan. And I'm like, I don't need Narcan. I'm not going to do anything like that. 60 tablets, really? That's how many you're going to give me? In fact, when I see him on tomorrow, I'm going to ask him about that. But anyhow, so after the first initial 2, I took when I got home, I think I took 2 that night when I went to bed. So that was Thursday, and then Friday I said to my wife that I'm gonna go back to 1 tablet every 6 hours if I can do it. And so I did that for the rest of the day, and then when I went to bed that night, I woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning. I fell asleep in the chair, because I'm sleeping in a recliner now. And I forget what I was going to say here. I took a tablet at 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife woke me up to make sure I took another tablet. So I took one, and I said to her, this is going to be the last one I take. And sure enough, after that, I was taking Tylenol. So I took Tylenol all the way Friday, Saturday, and I think Friday night, I decided I was going to sleep in the recliner. I would go into my daughter's bed, my granddaughter's bed, and I tried sleeping in there, and I took a Tylenol PM that night. Now, Tylenol PM has what do you call it, Benadryl in it. Benadryl can make you very restless, and that's the way my sleep was. It was a terrible sleep. I was restless all night long. So the next day, sleeping in that bed, I just told my wife that I would take a Tylenol at all, and that's all I took. And I still didn't sleep well, and maybe because it was I don't know what it was. It just didn't. I wasn't comfortable there. So the next day, I went back into the recliner. So I slept in the recliner the last 2 days. But anyhow, that day, that Saturday was the last Tylenol I took on a regular basis. Now, there is a pain there. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between the arthroscopic repair I had and this one here. And I'm mostly wearing the sling. This sling that I'm wearing does not have the balloon underneath it. He wants me to keep my shoulders close to my chest as possible. I still have some pain. It's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, if I had to put a scale on it, maybe a 2. If I move a certain direction, I get a little bit more, maybe a 3 or 4. It's a different kind of pain though. It's deep, and it feels like I'm getting spasms sometimes, and the other day I was walking from the bedroom out to the kitchen because I was taking my ice machine, you know, the pillow that goes on her shoulder, into the kitchen, and had the arm hanging from my side, not moving it, but I must have moved my shoulder or something like that, did like that, and I got a spasm, and I dropped it, and I walked back into the bedroom, and I just sat there against the edge of the bed and just counted down to like 15, 20, and it went away. So I haven't had that experience again, but I think that was just a spasm of some sort. So I've had a couple of those, you know, if I move my shoulder a certain way, I can feel it. You know, but other than that, it's been okay. Last night, I took a Tylenol before I went to bed because my shoulder doesn't bother me. It bothers me still, you know, somewhat. I'm walking every day, and we decided, I live near a beach, near the ocean, and so we went down to the boardwalk to walk the boardwalk, and just trying to get some steps in. I think I got like about 4,000 steps in. We sat down on one of the benches and just looked at it was a beautiful day. It was in the 70s, low 70s, maybe upper 60s. Sun was out. It was a beautiful day, and we figured, well, let's see what we can do out there. So we did that, and I guess maybe walking, because, you know, even though I'm tied up, I'm still moving, doing this kind of stuff, you know. So maybe it kind of like aggravated some of the muscles or something like that. But it wasn't like it was really painful. It was just it was there. It was a nag. It was a dull ache. So I took a couple Tylenol before I went to bed, and I was sitting there watching TV. And next thing I know, my wife is waking me up at 11:30. Says it's time to go to bed. And so I went into the recliner, the one right behind me, the blue one. I can't really see it here, but this one here, it's a little bigger than the one in the corner here, the green one, and which is my normal seat. And I slept like a rock. It was a great sleep. I think I got up around 11:30. Right before I went to bed. I went to the bathroom, and then woke up this morning at it was 5 o'clock. Laid in bed until about 5:45, and that was it. You know, I went out to breakfast with the guys this morning. First time I've seen a few of these guys. It was something that we do every Thursday. So you know, I got to say that the process has been okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing the doctor tomorrow. He's going to have some. I know he's going to take the staples out. I'm sure he will. And I'm hoping to see that if I get a little more freedom. If he's got me doing any kind of exercise, like maybe just move my arm up and down, which we've been doing twice a day. My biggest concerns, my biggest challenges right now are taking a shower. My wife has been really good about that, you know, helping me take a shower, and sleeping at night. Those are my big challenges. Not that there isn't any eating and just moving around and being isolated and all that kind of stuff are all issues. But for the most part, I got to say that everything has been going good, you know, except for those two real things, you know. And that'll get better, you know. Once I start able to move around a little bit more, my arm will start moving around a little bit. I'll be able to move. I'll be a lot more comfortable with myself, you know. I won't be quite as cautious. Right now, I'm very, very cautious. So that's about it. I'll do another report probably in another week or so, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for listening.